Welcome back, gamers. Today I'm going to be taking you through a guide into the rewards and the best way to think about farming the Infernal Hordes now in Season 5. Now, I went through and I tested the Tier 2 all the way to Tier 6 Infernal Hordes and just had a look at the rewards you'll be getting and what's going to make the most sense. So the first thing here, the spoils of greater equipment that you can get. Now you can't get this in tier 2, it only starts in tier 3 onwards. Got 60 ether to open. I would suggest that your first thing is you open this if you're looking for equipment. Now as you go through the tier 3 to tier 6 data here, you can see it went from getting 7 total pieces of equipment in tier 3, and then it went to 8, 9, and then 12 in tier 6. So my assumption for tier 7 and 8 is that that would be increasing then as well. In terms of the greater affix equipment, you did see it did kind of go between 2 and 3 greater affix equipment for tier 3 to tier 5, and then got 4 into tier 6. So it is some RNG involved here, but it does seem to be the higher tiers you go, the better chance you're going to get for getting greater affix equipment. Going on to the spools of the equipment chest, which cost 20 ether. You can see here it roughly ranges between 2 to 4 pieces of equipment you can get each time you open it. You can get greater affix equipment from there. On my first open in tier 3, 5 and 6, I got 1 GA piece of equipment in there. I didn't get any uniques going through this test, but I have got them previously, so you can get them from this chest as well. There's a few different things you'll get from here. So you get gem shards, vowed crystals, angel breath, forgotten souls, bundled herbs, scattered prisms, obidicite, ingolith. So you'll get the masterworking materials in here. You can get the tier 3 masterworking materials, but that starts at tier 7 and tier 8 where you can get those. Now going into the gem shards, you can kind of see it does seem to slightly increase the total amount of gem shards you get per tier. However, I did get the lowest amount in tier 6 as well compared to tier 3, so there still is a bit of RNG involved in that there. In terms of kind of the veiled crystals, that seems to increase, going from 6 at tier 2 up to 17 you get at tier 6. Angel breath only relatively increased from kind of 1 to 2. Forgotten souls did increase from 2 to 7 between the tiers, and bundled herbs only between kind of 2 to 4. Going through the scattered prisms, you can get anywhere from 0 to 2 in these tiers that I'd seen. Now, in terms of your masterworking materials, in tier 3 and tier 4, you can get the tier 1 masterworking material. And then going into tier 5 and tier 6, you can get the tier 2 masterworking material. So this is a great way in order to farm your masterworking material if you can get enough ether per run. So potentially better than just doing pits. So if you're looking to farm that, that's going to be a good way to do that as well. Now going into the gold, you can see here the different range of ether I spent kind of per tier, the total gold I got, and the gold basically per ether I spent. So started off about 38,000 gold per ether spent at tier 2, got up to all the way to 116,000 gold per ether spent in tier 6. So it is increasing each tier the amount of gold you're going to get per ether you spend. It does slowly increase less as you go up, so it kind of is a little bit diminishing returns there. But once again, if you can do a high tier for the gold in this case, you're going to be better off picking a tier where you can farm quite comfortably the most amount of ether, and that's going to kind of guarantee the most amount of gold you can get. Now, in terms of the total ether you can get per tier, it doesn't really seem to change between your tier 2 to kind of tier 5. Now, so 6 waves in here, and then tier 6 increases to 8 waves. But the total ether is really built around the boons and banes that you pick, and then basically the amount of them you can kind of complete in each wave. So your best bet here is to pick a tier where you can easily kill the amount of monsters very quickly in order to be able to progress those events. And then it will come down to then the boons or banes that you do pick. Now, from some of the testing that I had done, the best way to get the most amount of ether is going to be pick all the ones that are related to Hellborn ideally. This will give you the most amount of ether per wave. And then outside of that, if you do get ones where killing the normal monsters increases the speed at which you get events, that's another one potentially to grab if you can't grab any Hellborn ones in there. But that's going to try and guarantee the most amount you can get in there. If you found this guide useful, please remember to hit the like button and also subscribe for further Diablo 4 content. Now, if you do have any further information around Infernal Hordes, feel free to leave them down in the comments.